The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. We're gonna read the blurb for people who haven't read the book because that's what this is. This is the inclusive podcast. You know, if you haven't read the book, you know, grab a seat. But I promise you only need the edge. I stole that from him. You know, he's a writer. He used it. It was amazing. To this day, look, how many years ago did you write that? And it's still in my mind.
I honestly
Probably
don't
about
remember.
at least
I don't
10 years
remember.
ago.
I don't even remember writing that. I don't remember writing it. I remember saying it vaguely, but I don't remember writing it.
Okay, this is the blurb. Elizabeth has received a letter from an old colleague, a man whom she had a long history. He's made a big mistake, and he needs her help. His story involves stolen diamonds, a violent mobster, and a very real threat to his life. As bodies start piling up, Elizabeth enlists Joyce, Ibrahim, and Ron in the hunt for a ruthless murderer. And if they find the diamonds too, well, wouldn't that be a bonus? That's what I call bonus. 20 million quid, 20 million quid in diamonds.
20 million not a bonus? I was about to say. But yeah, no, literally, that's the kind of payout I'm looking for.
So, part one. I'm going to land you straight into the action. You don't even have to read the book. That's how good we are. We read the book and we've written some notes so that we can discuss and you can write in the comments what you think, but we're going to tell you, we're going to jump straight into it. So Douglas, who is Elizabeth's ex-husband, tells her that he needs her help since he stole 20 million in diamonds from Martin Lomax, a man who works as a middleman for drug lords. MI5 doesn't know that he stole them. By the way, Douglas is an MI5 agent. So MI5 doesn't know he's stolen them. He's hiding out until he can escape to Antwerp, sell the diamonds, and disappear. Douglas wants Elizabeth's help in keeping a lookout for possible threats, and Elizabeth agrees to help in exchange for information on Ryan Bird. Ryan Bird robbed Elizabeth's friend, Ibrahim, and kicked him in his head when he was down. So, straight into the notes. What's your first note?
My first note is this actually was a sequel book. It wasn't even the first book in a thing.
Yeah,
but,
we decided not to read the...
go in cold, go into the deep end. I thought it's going to be tough to get into the story with a running start, given it's a sequel, and we've never actually read the first one. So this might be the first time that most of my notes are like all in the beginning, did it? Because like it took me a while to actually get a grip. It took me a while to get a grip on not what was happening, because like you said, the story operates by itself, but mainly the characters and like which characters were going to be important. But it turns out Joyce started being like more important.
I don't know why Joyce was in the book.
I don't know why any of them was in. Okay, some of the other ones like Ron and like
I don't know why the whole Ryan Bird story was in the book.
I was waiting for that. Where is that? Because Ibrahim was in the hospital for like the whole book, just thinking about stuff. And brother, I went to skip.
Hey, no, he got philosophical. He got philosophical.
He did.
But anyway, yeah. So my first point is Connie is basically a bad man. That's how the book started. It didn't make any sense to me. I don't know who she was or whatnot. She's a drug lord apparently. Not the drug lord with the diamonds. There's two stories running side by side. So you've got the Elizabeth and the diamonds, and you've got Ibrahim and Ryan Bird where he gets mugged. So this is the... Sometimes they kind of go together anyway.
Yeah,
but yeah. So I thought Connie is a bad man. She reverse surveillance the police officers. She said to them she had them followed and seen them on dates in their personal time. Yeah. And then to top it off to their face, she said, "You didn't see anything I didn't want you to see in the last 2 weeks you've been surveilling me." Bitch. That's what she basically said. So she was a bad man, and then we didn't hear anything of her again till like the end of the book, which was very, very weird.
It was very
very weird.
The way you'd think, it seems like she's going to be involved in the diamond plot somehow, because she's like such a bad man. She's already involved in like illicit activities. So honestly, I just don't know. Execution-wise, it was a bit all over the place. But interestingly, did you actually know the distinction between MI5 and MI6? Because I had to Google it. I literally had to Google it.
They did say something.
MI5 was I genuinely thought MI5 shut down and MI6 was at the new... So I had zero clue.
One's intelligence, one's action, isn't it?
No, what it is MI6 is foreign intelligence, MI5 is British security. So the way I looked at online, the guy who explained it, he said MI6 are our spies, MI5 catches their spies. That's basically how it works.
So which one would you rather be?
That is a very interesting question.
You know, it's all fun and games being James Bond and MI5. But MI6, you get home in time for dinner.
But that's the funny thing. James Bond is MI6. James Bond's MI6. That's why he's literally in these countries shagging these girls from all kinds of...
So which one's our security?
British Homeland Security is MI5. So
yeah,
they catch the
so that's what I'm
coming.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's all fun and games being MI6, going abroad, being James Bond. As
yeah.
But MI5, you're home in time for dinner.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, dinner.
Dinner better be good as well.
Hot foreign women. I don't know.
Dinner with Halle Berry. I prefer both. Yeah, no, that's the end of my second point. Do you want to go with the third one?
Well, I've put 17 chapters in, and I'm struggling to write any notes. The story is somewhat confusing. We'll ignore that, it's fine. Yeah. The story is somewhat confusing. I haven't quite got my bearings yet, but it seems like there's two stories. The Ryan Bird mugging and the jewelry thief. That's about all I can say for certain.
It was a bit techie getting into the story because it was like, it was tough to see where both was going at the same time. It was tough to see.
I think that's probably why I was confused, because we didn't read the first book. But yeah,
maybe, perhaps. Maybe. I thought this story was going to be a kind of help Douglas find the real diamond thief before time runs out sort of thing. So I didn't read the blurb at all.
What do you mean Douglas was the thief?
But that's what I'm saying. I didn't read the blurb at all.
Oh, so you didn't
I went into the book. I said, listen, open it, start, begin. Take it long, begin. Because remember, I had to beast it in like 2 days. So I was literally like, begin. I thought it was going to be a help Douglas find the real diamond thief before time runs out kind of story. Turns out this guy really did just steal the diamonds and was actually just trying to sell me just the bad guy. He decided to be a menace. Not that I have much experience with this sort of thing, but I wouldn't have probably been smart not to take every single last one of them as well.
No,
this guy
was fine. He would have been fine,
whole...
but he decided to back off his balaclava.
Yeah, that's what really did him in.
Joker.
I said, having said that, I really enjoy the kind of James Bond depictions of secret agents as these thugs with the backing of the government rather than glorified police officers. Because like when you watch James Bond, this guy's not a police officer. He goes around killing people, beating people up, shagging women, just does what he wants. He's literally
so what you're saying is you like the lack of creativity.
No, I like the I like the picture.
It feels like home. No, not home here, but it feels like, you know, we've done. You know, it's an original. It's not an original. It's, you know, it's stereotypically. It's safe. It's safe territory.
Yes, I suppose. But I think safe territory would have been them having, you know, follow this guideline, that guideline, and not do certain things, not cross certain lines. I think that would have been very safe territory. This depiction that there was, this guy literally just said, yeah, I'm going to steal these diamonds because I was in this guy's house. And yeah.
He said, oh, wouldn't you have done it the same, Elizabeth? Oh, come on now.
Bro, it was like, what is he? He cheated on her how many times? It was just ridiculous. I was like, this guy's a menace for no reason.
Go on.
Yeah, that's the end of my...
No, you have to keep going.
But chapter 13... The interrogation scene with Donna and DCI Chris Hudson. Police work sounds like a pain in the neck, especially in the UK. However, I would have liked to see some manner of conversational trap, perchance, where they kind of show the expertise police officers and like get Ryan to incriminate himself. Because remember, he was like, no comment.
It wouldn't have been realistic. I'll tell you why. Because everybody knows you always say no comment. I'm telling you, all these drill artists, they will be caught on CCTV running away from a scene with a knife in their hand, and they will say no comment all the way, and they will get off.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like,
but what I'm saying is, for example, is people know to say no comment to questions. And questions about the case, but it's like, I saw this TV show where like people encrypted. It was just ridiculously clever how the police officers did it, where they just get people to talk. And that's essentially their aim. They don't want to get you to answer a question. They want to get you to talk and say something other than no comment. Because that's kind of what leads to... we know police officers are more than capable of exactly that, which is the very reason Ryan had a solicitor with me and interviewed him in the first place. Yeah. Or even to see the solicitor like shut down, kind of, don't answer that, he's baiting you, that kind of thing.
There wasn't enough. No, you're right.
Some manner of that.
They could have really painted a story, but I'll tell you why they didn't. Because Ryan Bard was completely pointless to the story. He was completely pointless to the story. I don't know why he was in there in the first place. But go on, say your next point then, because I've got something that I want to say. Yeah. But go on, say your next point.
Poppy is a very suspicious individual, in my opinion. She said, I don't like keeping secrets. I don't like telling one thing to person A and another to person B. Says this person in the employ of the British Secret Service. She said she did it because she needed a job and it seemed exciting, but that she doesn't really enjoy it, which strikes me as a person looking for an out. £20 million worth of an out, to be precise.
Well done. Okay, so I thought you would say something about this, so I'm just going to say it. I do have one question though. As you know, in my opinion, a book cannot be complete without a touch of philosophy. Is it okay for the police to convict somebody unethically because they escaped justice? What I'm talking about is they planted 10k worth of cocaine into Ryan Bard's house because he mugged someone. These guys, they were just criminals all the way through, stealing diamonds, convicting people.
And that's the funny thing, it's the police as well. It's like, not when MI5 set you up or whatever, you know they have powers to do certain things. This is like, imagine the Met police actually just plant cocaine in your house and then find it and then send you to prison.
Well, answer the question though.
No, of course it's not ethical. Okay, of course it's not.
No, I didn't say it is.
Wait, what did you say?
I said, is it okay for the police to convict somebody unethically because they escaped justice? And unethically is a weak word for what they did. They just broke. They broke They bought cocaine.
Yeah, they had to buy it,
and they planted it. But yeah,
taxpayer money.
Is it okay?
Nah, okay. Especially not in that circumstance as well.
Oh, you gave yourself an out, didn't you?
Yeah, of course.
You gave yourself an out in that circumstance. Because I baited you into saying no.
Yeah.
So let me give you an example. Yeah. You're a police officer, and there's a serial killer on the loose. That's killed and raped 9 women. The police know who he is.
Yes,
but they've got no evidence tying him to the crimes.
It's already different.
He's escaped justice. Is it all right? Is the right thing to do to sit back and wait for him to kill another woman, damage another family, kill and rape somebody's mother? Is that the right thing to do? Wouldn't you say that a successful society is one that has the power to do something to protect his people?
I think the right thing to do is your job. The right thing to do is your job. That's the right thing to do. Unquestionably, the right thing to do is your job.
I don't.
Now that same serial killer, his lawyer, the right thing for his lawyer to do is get him off. That's your job.
I don't
defend your client. It's not the right thing to do. Is for the lawyer could sell him out. His lawyer could sell him out.
Yeah, but I don't agree. It's the right thing to do. I understand. When is it ever right to turn a blind eye to something? By the lawyer giving him. There's nothing wrong with giving him a fair trial, but trying to get him off is not the right thing to do. I understand it's his job, but it's not the right thing.
Okay, let me give you an example of what I mean by get him off. You heard of chain of custody, right? With regard to the police. So say, for example, they're at a murder scene, the police find a murder weapon, and they send it to the courthouse or whatever. They send it wherever they need to send it to get it verified, and they can't tell where it's been. It goes missing for 20 minutes, and it shows back up, can't use it. Because the chain of custody has been broken.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, for example, if the lawyer exposes that, even though he knows his client did it, is that the wrong thing to do? Let's say the lawyer says, you can't use this evidence because of chain of custody.
That's
see what
fair.
I'm saying? That's getting him off.
That isn't necessarily getting him off. It might get him off, but you're actually following the rules.
That's fair exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The police might have, poured some more blood on there. That is fair enough. But I'm not saying the right thing to do is for the lawyer to get somebody off who's a danger to the public.
Well, defending his client is his moral and ethical responsibility.
You can defend your client.
To the best of your ability.
To the best of your ability.
Which means getting him off.
Not necessarily.
If you can.
No. I don't think it's the right thing to do to get him off. And also these solicitors, they drink themselves to sleep at night. Some of the things they do because they know they haven't done the right thing. They've done their job and
they've done an ethical obligation. Having said that, let me give you another example. Let's say a doctor. Some guy's drink driving or whatever, crashes, ends up in the hospital. Doctor, your moral and ethical obligation is to care for this patient. Cool. Having said that, let's say this would never happen. Let's say you're in the whatever operating on him, or not even operating on him, just giving him medication or whatever, and he says, "Thanks, doc. Guess what? As soon as I get out here, get drunk, do it again. Straight away, do it again. I'm not gonna stop." Can you let him die? Can you kill him?
No, you just report it.
Huh?
Report it.
But that's what I'm saying.
These are definitely interesting questions.
They are interesting.
But I don't think these are difficult. I think there's a clear right thing to do and wrong thing to do. Whereas my scenario, I think it's hard because we can sit here and say we should live in a world where if there's a clear danger, and we can't use the right judicial system to convict him because he's got away with it. Releasing him into the public, isn't the right thing. I mean, talking about if we know. I'm not talking about if we don't know this, that, and the other. So I don't know if it is right or wrong for the police to do.
It's techie.
It's definitely an interesting question. And there's a film called The Unthinkable by Samuel L. Jackson. And basically what happens is they catch this terrorist. The terrorist does this Bond villain type of I've planted bombs around London.
Yeah.
If you don't stop the war in Al Qaeda, I'm gonna let them off. They nab him and they torture him.
Yeah, of course.
And they call in Samuel Jackson, who's the torturer, and they sit there and they torture him. And then you got the police saying, "No, that's wrong." Da, da, da. And Samuel Jackson locks the doors. But it starts off soft. Samuel Jackson locks the booth and he said, "Let's get this going. I'm doing the right thing."
Literally.
What do you think about that?
Well, look, torture it's definitely, not only is it effective, it's these people like police, secret agencies, whatever, their resources are limited.
Okay,
let's say this is a crazy situation.
So this is the question: is torture okay? Is it?
I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
Do
you think it should be legal under certain scenarios? Because
it's
not legal. It's not legal. No.
Okay, look, it's happening. Put it that way.
No, but
Government are doing it.
It is, but basically what I'm saying is that man had to go to jail after saving. He saved millions of lives, but he had to go to jail now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It doesn't make sense, but we see this all the time. We see this in like in the Dark Knight when they let the Batman in the room with the Joker.
But this is what I'm saying. So should the law be changed for those circumstances?
How do you legislate for that? Be like, if you save X amount of lives, you get immunity. You can't legislate for that.
I think
it's case by case. You can't write one paragraph into the law that's going to account for every single instance. There's too many variables, which is why it's not in there in the first place. Because there's too many variables. So in this specific situation, it was crazy what they did. I said 10 grand worth of cocaine. You could have put like £60 worth of cocaine. 10 grand?
It ain't coming out.
Look, any lawyer worth his salt will be looking at him and be like, where did he get 10 grand from? Come on, this guy's wearing like Reeboks. If he had 10 grand...
No, but he was a dealer though. He was up to no good. I don't know if
he was up to no good. He was up to no good, but I don't
think... He robbed the phone, kicked the old man. I mean, you ain't done that. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, they put 10 grand worth of cocaine in his toilet. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And we definitely need to move on now. We got sidetracked. But it was a good. You're philosophical.
Oh yeah. It was all me.
Scenic route.
I take responsibility.
Good. I put chapter 15. Chapter 15. The assassin comes for Douglas. I really don't know why this man being hunted by Colombian cartels and mafia men from New York doesn't have a gun, a knife, or even a baseball bat next to his bed. In case of this, he had nothing. He had his fists, and that's it.
He was hiding in the closet.
He was hiding in his closet. He literally said, "It seems incompetent oversight of Goliath proportions that this hardened MI5 agent decided to go with padlock and inshallah," which is essentially what he did. He put a padlock on the door, then he hid in the wardrobe, and he said, "Whatever happens, happens."
No, I thought he was going to get away with the wardrobe. If I was going to kill somebody and I picked their lock, I'd assume they're not in. I'd assume they're not in. They're not in the wardrobe
like this. You were like this. Straight away, right to the wardrobe. Yeah, literally, straight away. I'd have just let it up the wardrobe, straight away. Just let it up and then leave. But yeah, that was ridiculous. I said, this guy does not even have a pair of knuckle dusters like he could batter somebody with. Should he find himself in a spot of fisticuffs, which I assume happens all the time if you're an MI5 agent. I've seen the movies. Bearing in mind this is a guy who has the composure to, in what may well have been his final moment, stick to himself. Elizabeth was still looking good and he would have loved another crack at her. He was thinking in the wardrobe, you know. When the man had the gun in his room looking for him, he was thinking, oh boy, I fumbled. That's what he was thinking.
So you don't have to love another girl.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
I can't believe I didn't get that bit. I didn't note that down.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous how this guy didn't. You don't have anything. Even to say, cool, it's UK, can't really have guns in here, yada yada. Barely man probably had one, but he even said a baseball bat next to your bed, nothing. If you had a baseball bat, it's game over. Like he would have fucked him up.
I think we might have to read part 2 before I say mine, because look at my next point.
Yeah.
So, no.
I'm just gonna read the part 2 bit.
No. Read your. If you got more points, read them.
Okay, cool.
You might need a charger.
No, don't worry, I'm good. Got 11%. 11% loads.
Alright.
I put very pointless leaving us on a cliffhanger. I cannot imagine that's where Douglas meets his end.
Oh, I assumed that was it for him.
I was like, there's no way. There's no way that this MI5
No, the way they wrote it,
this punk.
Well, it was the man who died twice, so I was expecting him to die anyway. I was expecting him to die, and then the way they wrote it, there was no scope for anybody to come in last minute. Like the man,
they didn't really. But I still
they wrote it like the man pulled the trigger,
and it's kebab, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Good night, Irene.
See you later.
I literally put, I expect Poppy or Elizabeth will intervene and shoot the assassin before he can kill Douglas.
He was on the ball. Boy.
If I were writing this, I'd have Douglas have pulled off some kind of clever clogs maneuver to take the gun out of the equation. Then we at least get a hand-to-hand scene. Yeah, and we could see this guy battering or something. We didn't get anything. I thought it was ridiculous.
I think we got one gun. No, that's not true. But yeah,
I didn't expect to be put. I thought Elizabeth straight away. Elizabeth is going to be like, I don't know how.
We didn't get no hand-to-hand combat. We didn't get anything. Stealth mission.
I said, you and an MI5. You think that James Bond movie, you could finish James Bond movie, there's no hand-to-hand. Trust me, you're getting at least 3 good ones.
Parkour,
you're getting everything. Everything. Exactly. And car chase as well. Car chase as well. You get everything.
Nah, they fumbled this.
They definitely fumbled it.
This has really gone down. I was ranking it somewhere here, and then you keep talking.
Taking the points off. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I put, surprise, Poppy kills the assassin. It would have been more surprising if they hadn't told us that Poppy was armed from day one, to be fair. By the end of the day, this doesn't
we knew that Poppy wasn't armed?
Yeah, because Douglas was like, Poppy has a gun downstairs, I need to wake her or whatever. Remember, he was like, she's still sleeping. How did she not hear that? Yada, yada. He was cussing her.
No, why he's just a woman to protect himself.
Why, if she could have a gun, why can't he have a gun? It makes zero sense. If they had said, yeah, cool, because like the law or whatever, UK can't have a gun, that would make perfect sense. But the fact that she had one, why don't you have one? I said, the massive blunder of you not being armed, he's lucky he's not dead. No thanks to himself as well. He nearly got himself killed. He literally said, I'm going to buy myself 15 sequels. That's what he said. Like, hiding in the wardrobe.
Well, it's a good thing he did,
man,
though.
Yeah, that is a good thing he did. But then man burst open the door and he went, he was like, well, for try. So he said, you got me.
You got me, old boy.
Yeah, literally. He said, ah.
But are there people like that who speak like that in real life?
Yeah.
In London. It's not London, is it?
I don't think it would be
super
London.
posh, upper class.
Especially won't be central London.
The way he was, I should have put down a quote that he said. Like, he was all that old boy.
Yeah,
you know, dear. All of that type of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think.
I'd love to have another crack at her. You know, all of
yeah,
that type of stuff. Yeah, all of that type of stuff.
I've never.
He sounded racist.
I think there was like he voted Conservative.
Oh come on!
He voted Conservative.
He donated money to the Conservative.
He was a member of the party.
Yeah.
He goes to play what's that sport?
Okay. Polo.
Yeah, polo with Boris.
Yeah. Are you going? You know where. Do you want to read the next part, or you still got?
Yeah, nah. Hold on 1 second. The next part is.
We are kind of. No, I mean the part.
Yeah, I'll just read. Okay, chapter 26.
Is it part 2?
Part 2 after this point.
What does part 2 say? Let me just see. I think. Oh, it's just this paragraph.
Yeah, this is part 2, and then this is my next point after that.
Part 2 it's not really a point reading it, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, I put chapter 26. This is the kind of dodgy shit I want to see our main characters do. Elizabeth authorises the purchase of £10,000 worth of cocaine and has Ron pose as a plumber and plant it in Ryan's apartment. Several crimes here. Several. Fraud, like possession of Class A drugs, purchase of Class A drugs, intent to distribute, frame, obstruction of justice. You set somebody up, literally. Entrapment, and technically evidence manufacturing as well, but this is how the police, and especially M15, this is how they catch their criminals. Wouldn't catch nobody. If you follow the rules all the time, you generally wouldn't catch anybody. Because criminals are smart, especially as the higher up they go.
Yeah, 100%.
They literally get smarter. So if you didn't set them up, you would never catch anybody.
Should I go?
Yeah, go on.
Chapter 31. And the book's just defrosting. Poppy and somebody's ex-husband, Douglas, has just been killed. I still don't know if it's Elizabeth's or Joyce. It's Joyce's ex-husband, because it kept jumping from chapter to chapter, and I didn't know who was who.
I told you.
If you missed the first bit, you know who it is. If it's Joyce,
about that.
I don't know why Joyce was in this thing. I just don't know. I couldn't tell you one thing she did, because I think everything she did, Elizabeth did. I don't know who
she was there
did
to waffle. She was literally.
She was there for the reason that. No, right. I think I said why she was there anyway. This book isn't hard to get into, but I still haven't grasped the characters in their entirety. Also, I'm going to assume that the author should take it as a compliment that I haven't got anything to say 31 chapters in. I have no real complaints other than maybe more character building. But and I wish we got more of Douglas as well. I mean, I really do. Like maybe, I just like the character. Maybe we'll have to go read the first one just for him.
Yeah, I personally
because he was a 3D character.
I personally thought there was too many characters. I thought the characters needed trimming, and the time that you save trimming some of these characters off, like Ibrahim and some of these lot, Ryan Bird. You can invest that into characters like Douglas and like flesh them out because now you have more space to work with. If that makes sense. And it's like you hop in from like Joyce. Pointless. Remove. Get rid.
Pointless.
Get rid. I put.
Look at Donna and Chris.
It was ridiculous. It was literally ridiculous. And then was it Patrice? Was that name Patrice? Chris was like dating Patrice, who was Donna's mum, and it was like, what's going on?
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
I put damn. So Douglas finally got caught. I said they killed my cousin, you know.
Got caught.
And Poppy is collateral damage. Maybe it was Martin Lomax's people. Maybe about a third player who wants the diamonds. Maybe security guard in the Virgin Media van had something to do with it. My immediate thought was that...
You don't trust anyone, do you?
Of course, it's a murder mystery. It's a murder mystery. You can't trust anybody. Nobody. Everyone's a suspect.
Maybe it's me.
Maybe I did it. You literally... Remember that scene where her and Sue and the other guy, there was literally just accusing... Everybody was accusing everybody else.
Yeah, literally.
And it was like, let's just agree to disagree that it couldn't be any of us. But I put... My immediate thought was that Douglas and Poppy were killed hours before Elizabeth got the message to meet him, and that the killer staged the message in order to misrepresent the precise time of the murders, possibly for alibi reasons, perhaps. because I've seen things like that in murder mysteries where they're like try and backdate the time or bring forward the time of the killing to be like, it couldn't have been me because I was in.
Yeah, but that doesn't work because they can tell how long a body's been sitting there.
That is true.
Unless
that is true.
But yeah, I mean, it would probably get by them sometime.
It'd probably buy them some time. Yeah.
You finished?
Yeah.
Poppy's death was a shock. We kind of liked her. The author could have done more character building before the killing of both characters. The scene where Poppy's mom has to identify her body, it was a heartfelt scene, but again the writer should have done more to make us feel the pain of the mother. The mother should have been a snotty mess, screaming and attacking the MI5 bosses. I understand not everybody grieves like that, but that's the way people expect people to grieve, and the writer should have gave that to us.
Yeah, 100%.
But we understand why.
We understand why.
Now,
after the fact.
But I guess I kind of, sent something.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, you probably realised.
Yeah, I didn't realise.
You picked up on something. You definitely picked up on something without even realising it. I put Poppy. Death was a shock because she had seemed like the obvious culprit to me. She was looking like a culprit to me. I had my eyes on her. You remember I said don't trust anybody? I had my eyes on her. She killed the intruder who's going to shoot Douglas and was visibly shaken up. But she has a motive to want the diamonds, aware of the job that she admitted she hates. She has the tools to pull off something like this because she's MI5. She literally works for the Foreign Office or the Secret Service or whatever you want to call it. And she's comfortable enough with a gun to one pop an assassin and the instinct to aim for his head. She literally shot him in his head. They said she blew his head off. So now another murder has occurred around her. Let's not forget she works for MI5. Maybe Poppy faked her death somehow and plans to steal the diamonds from Douglas. I thought she faked her death. Because when I heard that the bodies were shot in the face, I was like, one reason you might do that is to obscure the identities.
Yeah, but that's not necessary though, is it? Oh, because it could be a different body.
Because it could be a cadaver, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I was thinking. Maybe someone faked their death.
Let me just, 1 second, let me just find it myself. Okay, cool. Finally, the story has officially started. Elizabeth believing that Douglas has faked his own death. Could Poppy and Douglas have run off together? That's what I'm thinking. He was apparently a womanizer already. Now armed with $20 million, he's everything a woman wants. What woman would say no to that? What man would say no to that?
I would say no to that. It's 20 million. We keep saying dollars. I keep saying dollars as well as pounds, apparently. But
yeah, no, because the Americans came in and the Americans said it was dollars one time. That's what happened. That's why I kept saying that. I don't know if I want to read this part. This is my part too. So I'll just let you guys know where we are in the story. So basically, Elizabeth starts thinking about all their interactions she's had with Douglas in the last 24 to 48 hours before he died. She concludes that he was trying to tell her where the diamonds are without making it obvious. Her brain starts working to overdrive, and she starts to think about that the double murder was staged. And she was thinking that Poppy and Douglas ran off together. So as she was thinking, she recalls a conversation with Douglas where they went for a walk in the park, and he said that tree would be a perfect dead drop. A dead drop is something that spies use where they leave something somewhere that a member of the public wouldn't find it by accident. So anyway, Douglas started recalling about the time that they used the tree as a dead drop in Russia back in the day. So Elizabeth says to her colleagues, I know Douglas, he's very careful with words, and if he mentioned, I just missed it, if he mentioned something, it's for a reason. I think he's left something for me in that tree. So to cut a long story short, they go there, they find a tree and they find a note left in the tree. But to my note now about it, I put, okay, the letter dead drop's an interesting touch. Because in the letter, Douglas says, if the diamonds are there, then I'm dead. Which I thought that was quite creative. But it would have been much better for the story if Elizabeth hadn't miraculously figured out that Douglas didn't fake his own death. Why wouldn't the author just make Elizabeth have a compelling feeling to check the dead drop spot in the tree, and then it would have been a massive mystery to see if the locker would have the diamonds inside it or not. With the way the current story is, we know that the locker's empty. It has to be. Yeah, it has to be empty because the diamonds couldn't just be found there and the story's over.
Yeah, 100%.
So
yeah, definitely. I don't know. I think maybe there's a problem with where the point of the story when Douglas actually died. Maybe perhaps she should have found the letter before he died, But she was just on
she
her way to
No,
meet
she
him.
couldn't find it before she died. Because why would she? He's got to be dead, otherwise, you know what I mean?
That's true.
He's got to be dead. It would have been fine. As long as he died and she was just, you know, in bits crying, and she just puts two and two together. Dead letter drops, where's the diamonds? Dead letter drops, da 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 da.
Yeah.
But yeah, it shouldn't have been a thing where...
Yeah, because like you said, we know the diamonds aren't just going to be in it and that bam, that's it. Give them...
Sorry?
Did they say they was gonna, that Martin Lomax guy, did they say they was gonna give the diamonds back to him?
They were never friends. He said, "Find me the diamonds or I'll kill you."
Yeah, he literally said, "I won't have any problem killing." Or he said,
there was no.
This guy said, "I'll wet all you run up." But yeah, no, it wasn't looking good for him. I put, so you can remember the exact wording of the message, but not where your phone is. I said, you got caught slipping. Elizabeth got caught slipping. That is
Joyce lost her phone.
No, it was Joyce. She was waffling. They didn't care about her phone anyway. So it was like, you're literally just...
I thought Joyce was the one that found them dead. Was it Elizabeth?
No, it was Elizabeth that found them dead. But and Elizabeth took the pictures.
Oh, I thought it was Joyce.
Remember, and Joyce was at the bottom of the stairs and they both had the knives or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But Elizabeth got caught slipping. That is exactly the kind of trickery I wanted to see the police using on Ryan in the interrogation room. Doesn't seem as though Lomax was behind Douglas's murder. That only leaves an unknown third party. I had previously suspected Poppy, but now I wonder if Joyce might not be a worthy suspect, especially since she seems so harmless. She seems like she's just blundering through the story, has no real place in it, not doing anything. And when the person's like that, I kind of look at them and be like, you might just be the grand villain. You're the Jar Jar Binks of this story.
I said, okay, this book has some intelligent ideas. I wouldn't have thought for a minute to take the crisp packet. If that was in the lockers, I would have assumed that it's rubbish. And I put humour, check. Man said... they were talking, I don't know who they were talking about, but someone was dating a driving instructor, and they said, did he look in his mirrors before pulling out? You know, because I think he got the girl that was pregnant or something like that, and I literally laughed out loud when they said that. Did he check his mirrors before he pulled out?
That's deep. How do you think of stuff like that? When the author wrote that, she must be like, gold.
Oh yeah,
she must be like, gold.
It's like when directors create shows that have music artists and they make a song that's actually good. So there's something called Champion that it's on Netflix and it's about music. Yeah, and all the songs in there are good, and it's just like so it's like she made a joke that was actually funny.
Yeah, no, it's mad. She's thinking, write that down. Literally write that down. So Douglas did leave a trail of breadcrumbs to lead Elizabeth to the diamonds, something only she could possibly find. The letter left in a tree. But what's up with the mirror in the locket? Why did he need to see her the day she was murdered if she already had everything she needed to find the diamonds?
So you worked it out?
No, I didn't, but I was thinking it's got to be something to do with the locket. It has to be, because no way he would leave it and then it'd just be... To be fair, the book's done that multiple times already. Remember with Ryan, didn't matter. Ibrahim, didn't matter.
Maybe that's why they're doing these pointless stories.
Perhaps, maybe why. But that's just all of that, for the sole purpose of confusing us. You went to all the details.
And the story wasn't that great. I mean, how they find the diamonds? It was that...
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll explain it after. But yeah, Joseph.
Yeah.
Do you know the game Hangman?
Yeah.
Well, in Hangman, you can take a wild guess at what the word is before you have any of them, any of the letters. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. You could literally just
you could just get. And if you lose, then you lose the game, and you can't guess again. I'm guessing Bogdan.
Okay.
I said Bogdan is behind everything. He's too helpful, too righteous, but at the same time knows where to get 10 grand worth of coke.
That's what I'm saying.
It's Bogdan. He's Eastern Europeans. It's Bogdan. It's Bogdan. It's Bogdan. It's Bogdan. So that's what when I guessed that, I was like, I've got it right. I know I've got it right.
The reason why I would never, even after reading the book, I would never, at that point, reading that, I would never have agreed with that guess because I know murder mysteries. It's never the guy that looks evil. It's never the guy from Eastern Europe.
Yeah,
it's
but
never
he was
that
so...
guy.
No, yeah, I understand that. It could have been a double bluff.
It could... They don't have double bluffs. It's always the person that looks nice. It's the woman that cries the loudest. It's the woman that found the body. It's the woman that hired you to find
So don't you think, when you read it, maybe this one's different?
No, because this was a very classic murder mystery. Even the way they assembled... Do you remember that show that you used to watch, Death in Paradise?
Yeah.
Remember at the end of every episode what they would do? Collect all the people in the room, and this guy would accuse every single one of the people in the room, and then point to the person who was actual...
Yeah.
This is literally what murder mysteries do. It's classic Agatha Christie, Poirot, all these murder mysteries. They like to accumulate all the people. That's why there's so many characters, by the way. So that you can go through all the characters and be like, but at 10:15, you were the one that was outside such and such a room, and it was the butler in the study with the lead piping. It's exactly the same kind of thing. So the whole way through the story, it just felt like a murder mystery. I was thinking, that's why I said Joyce. I said Joyce did it, because that was my hangman moment. But all we learned from this is we both would have died. That's all we've learned from this. We both would swing.
I'm confused as to why Joyce is even in the story, to be honest. She seems like a carbon copy of Elizabeth. I think there should have been more character development to help paint the two as completely different women. Because I don't even, as I said, we kind of explained this already. But yeah, I don't know why she's in the story.
Yeah, she didn't really say much of a purpose. I personally think she was there like John Watson is in Sherlock.
Well, yeah, that's literally it. But it wasn't necessary because it's a point of view. Like, they didn't need them. They didn't need that because Elizabeth wrote a diary.
Yeah, no, literally.
She was literally monologuing in her diary. The whole book was a diary, which I liked as well because it means that maybe Elizabeth dies in the end. They could have found a diary.
All the bits. Yeah, it does make sense. All the bits where Elizabeth, like even the bit where they found Douglas and Polly's body, I said if you remove Joyce from these scenes, it would change absolutely nothing about where the story was. Literally nothing. Because even when they found the bodies, she was literally just like, stay there. And what did Joyce do? She went and got knives. I said Elizabeth could have done that. I said all of this, it does not require two people. This is not a 2-woman job. So I definitely don't know why. I think boosting the word count. The writer thought, let's boost the word count. How many more points do you have, by the way? I only have a couple more. I did 22.
Okay, I'll go then.
Yeah, go on.
So basically, this is where we are in the story. So Elizabeth believes that Douglas fakes his own death because they go to the locker after receiving the letter in a dead drop. They go to the locker and find that the locker's empty. So Douglas must have faked his own death because he said, if the diamonds are in the locker, that means I'm dead. If they're not, then that means I'm not. Right? They find a crisp packet in the back of the locker. They take it and run some forensics on it, and they find a message written in invisible ink. I don't know if it was, but they found a message on there. At the same time, they check that many hours of CCTV and find out that a biker in full gear and a helmet has accessed the locker less than 24 hours before them. So they think, oh, maybe they've got the diamonds, or maybe that was Douglas. They work out that the biker is none other than Poppy's mother, which was a big shock to me. Yeah. And Elizabeth's... Siobhan. Yeah, Siobhan. Elizabeth's brain goes into overdrive and she thinks, oh my gosh, they did fake the murder. See, who identified Poppy's body? Her mother.
Yeah. And remember, she didn't seem beaten up. Like
she didn't seem beaten up. She wasn't crying. Who identified Douglas' body? Nobody. He had no next of kin. So... let's go back. So I said, yeah, well, that was a plot twist. Poppy's mum being the biker. I'm starting to think that this is all a wild goose chase orchestrated by Douglas. Why would you put the diamond somewhere where there's CCTV and then tell somebody to wear full biker's gear to disguise yourself when you know that the receptionist will ask you to identify yourself in front of the camera? Literally. It doesn't make any sense. There's so many places you could hide diamonds. Why there? This book has me all over the place. I don't know what the real plot is. I don't know who's dead. I don't know who faked their death. It's definitely clever and well thought out. Apparently now Poppy's the one that faked her own death. And if that's the case, we should have seen it coming. Stuttering girls make the perfect spies. As from the Alice Network.
Literally, perfect spies.
I also have no idea why this book is in diary form. Is it because the writer has a problem with point of view stories? Wait, this was a point of view story, wasn't it? Or was it not?
I got confused at times. Yeah, sometimes it went to first person and then sometimes it was a third person. I was like, what's going on?
Is it because the writer has a problem with point of view stories, but still wants the monologue? One of the pros of this story being in diary form is that Elizabeth could be dead or she could die at the end of the story, so it does keep the suspense, even though I don't think it's that sort of story.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't that kind of story, to be fair. It was supposed to be like some kind of tongue-in-cheek, fun kind of story.
You go on, you say your point. I've only got 3 left anyway.
Next. I like how this story has given a lot of characters motive and opportunity to have committed the killings, like any classic murder mystery would. Lance, Douglas, Elizabeth, Sue, Poppy, Joyce, Martin Lomax all potentially had motive to kill for the grand prize of $20 million. Pounds.
Well, that's not really motive.
It is motive.
I mean, it's like saying anyone will kill for $20 million.
That's true, but they made specific Like, they was even saying Lance would say he was paying his girls a rent or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Which I started laughing
That was
about.
that was a weird entry.
Like,
anyway,
out of nowhere. It just came out of nowhere.
And I think the story ended on him as well.
Anyhow he turned out to be the killer, that's how they introduced his motive for being the killer. I would literally have torn the book up. But I did think it was, like I said, classic murder mystery. They make sure that everyone has their own story. Yeah. Everyone has a specific motive for, like, an urgent need of the money as well, whatever. But the only one who didn't was Douglas Ralph. He just wanted it. He just wanted the money. He's the one who stole them.
Yeah, but that's real though.
He was like, yeah, he's an opportunist. He's just in the house. He just saw the diamonds. He literally said, "Go."
I feel like opportunists should be dealt with by the law under a different manner than someone who's a career criminal. Because people, look, we are humans. We all are tempted by the smallest of things. I mean, look at us. We're all fat. Because we all stuff our faces because of chocolate, this, that, and the other. Do you get what I'm saying? We don't have any control, you know. So, who isn't tempted to just pocket $20 million? Because he's not hurting anyone. They're probably blood diamonds. Yeah, you know, he's going to donate some money to charity.
100%. I think in those circumstances, you probably will get a reduced sentence. To be fair, you wouldn't get as much time as somebody.
They call it grand theft. You steal over 100k.
No, I know. I'm saying in some of them situations. But the thing is, in some of them situations, if they can prove that, like, you planned it and it was meticulous and you broke into somebody, which you did. But if, for example, let's say, you was in somebody's house, you worked there, you just saw some diamonds there, you literally just took a few, and then you turned yourself in or whatever, you probably wouldn't get any time at all. You probably wouldn't get any time at all. But, like, if they find the blueprints in your house that you was underneath the bed, breaking into someone's house, which you did, they'll throw the book at you.
I'm thoroughly enjoying the book. I'm disappointed in the manner that they found the diamonds in a locker a few doors down from locker 531. The way in which they had to find it was creative, but at the end of the day, they found it in the locker in the same train station, which is what the note said in the beginning. So to me, it shows a lack of creativity. I expected there to be a treasure hunt that was full of innovative ideas to keep me on the edge of my seat, but I'm disappointed in that regard. But as I said, at least I'm enjoying the book, and it's definitely believable the way the story went.
It's believable the way the story went, and also, well, I say I like the characters, I like Douglas, but
yeah,
so
the rest of them was like
the rest of them were kind
there
of
was no development.
There wasn't really any development.
I
was kind of disappointed in a sense, not only with the whole locker thing, and it was like switch, like whatever. I was like, okay, but I was like the whole friendship bracelet thing. I said so this is the whole reason Joyce is in this book, so she could have friendship bracelets, so you could identify her. So how stupid do you have to be?
And even that. They didn't identify her because of the type of friendship bracelet. It's because they found another CCTV.
Exactly. So
it wasn't even necessary. That's why I knew I disliked Joyce for it. Friendship bracelet. You're elderly. Like, what is that?
Adult. Grow up. I'm not impressed. Would
it be alright for a man to do that?
Get a second job.
Would we tolerate a male character?
Friendship bracelet. If you turn up here and I said to Elijah, I want you to wear this friendship
bracelet. I mean, I'm talking about in a character form. It'd still be ridiculous. Why is it okay for a woman to do it? About a man, that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it?
You know what it is? Because women, they're supposed to do what they want.
I thought he was going to say something left. No. Women there.
They're supposed to do what they want. We're not supposed to do what we must. But there's no way you could be that negligent or that unfortunate to be shortlisted to a list of suspects based on a friendship bracelet. There's no way you could be that unlucky that you forgot that you're wearing it. What? Exactly. You're not friends. You know you're not. You're involved in this conspiracy.
We're friends now because you gave me a bracelet.
It's ridiculous.
Shut up.
It's ridiculous.
So, chapter 72 and everything's in place. To catch the mafia, Connie and Ryan Bard. It would have been a nice touch for Elizabeth to use Connie to find Ryan Bard of her own accord instead of scrolling through Facebook and conveniently finding him. She could have told Bogdan to tell Connie to bring somebody she trusts, and that could have been Ryan Bard. That would have been.
I was like, what year is this that this guy's on Facebook, by the way? Because what year is this?
Yeah, that's this.
She could have made it something else. No, because I heard they mentioned Instagram.
Why wasn't Bogdan dealing with Connie?
She was throwing herself at him as well. She even said she was disgraced at herself how much she threw herself at him. I was literally said, Bogdan, you are a better man than me.
Me?
You are a better man than me.
Me?
Literally, 100%.
I know I'd have done it.
It's
anyway.
over.
Anyway. So we find out that Sue is the woman behind it all. Only one problem. I don't know who Sue is. And I barely noticed her the whole book.
Yeah, that was crazy. She was like, she said she worked with Douglas for 20 years. So I assume MI5 sequence, the same kind of thing. Then it was like, her and Douglas was involved romantically and he was planning to betray her. So she tried to bump it.
That's what they worked out. But was that made clear in the story then?
No, it was.
Because as I said, I got to the end. They said, "Oh, Sue." I heard about her. From what I remember of Sue, the only thing is when Sue was there.
Yeah,
when
outside
everyone's accusing everyone.
Yeah,
that's it. The bodies. I don't remember nothing.
That's the only
else.
thing she did do. In fact,
I don't remember nothing.
When they said, "I've worked with Douglas for 20 years," that's when I kind of thought like she might be involved in this because it's like when you work for someone for 20 years, you don't know really what's going on. Romantic entanglements, things like that.
Yeah,
he was clapping everybody. He was doing what Bogdan should have been doing. He was showing him the ways. But he was literally clapping everybody, married or not. He said it makes no difference to me.
Mate, when you don't know when your last day is, you got to live life in the moment.
And he might be lucky. He might be grateful he did. To be fair. The way this guy went out, he might be grateful he did.
Well, he wasn't there, was he? He messed around the wrong woman.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
he went to get back with Elizabeth.
Oh, she would never have tolerated. She would. He was gonna get shot one way or the other.
That's what women always say. I'd never take him back 5 minutes later, mate. But yeah, that's my last point.
I put the classic murder mystery final twist. Elizabeth is smart enough to decipher the clues left for her by Douglas. Finds the diamonds. Finds the killer. Oh yeah, hence the reason for the locket. I don't know if you put that, like the locket where it's like it had a mirror.
Yeah, that's how
it was like. Yeah, and I was thinking, as it was creative, but I was like, I don't know if anybody could be that smart, that level of genius to think, yes, mirror, reverse, yada yada. I don't know if you're that smart. And even if it was the East Berlin, West Berlin thing.
Yeah.
Why do they need the mirror at all?
No, okay, all right. I don't know about all of that, but I think it's believable because because he wanted to give her the locket. Right?
Yeah.
He kept it or whatever it was. She knew he wanted her to have it. So I think it's believable because she has said multiple times. If he says something, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
If he's giving me something, it's for a reason. If he's giving you a mirror, it's for a reason. Yeah. So I think it's fair for her for that. That's why I said it. I think it's believable to get that. And also, it was in the same locker room, the same train station. So it is what it is. You know. Yeah, I feel like after going through the notes, I didn't like the book as much as I did. But after I read it, I thought it was a nice, easy listening book. It's nice. It's nice to have these easy listening books. 100%. You just enjoy life. You just enjoy the story. And you just go along for the ride.
100%.
So I don't think it's not going to score highly, and I don't know if I wouldn't recommend it. If someone said, "Oh, I don't know what to read," I'd say, "Yeah, go read it." Yeah, you know, so that's no easy book. I'm not going to say it to someone who doesn't read. You know what you need to do. You need to go read this book.
Yeah, that'll turn them off reading forever.
But yeah, what would you say? Okay, let's actually put our scoring system into position.
But we're gonna do. So, what do you want to do?
I don't know. Creativity. Storyline,
characters.
So
out of 3.
5. Let's do 5.
5. Okay. Yeah, that's to be odd number.
So creativity.
I would say. Yeah, not high. 1.
Yeah, creativity 1. There was some. I want to say 2 because there was some things in there that I thought was interesting. Even the Dead Shops, it's not creative. It's created to the story. It's nothing. She didn't invent nothing. Nothing was invented.
They even worked for MI5. She didn't invent like her own.
1 creativity. 1 to creativity. Storyline.
Which one? It would have been much better if we hadn't had that other story plot that didn't really go anywhere. Bro, they just charged this nigga with possession of cocaine, threw the book at him, sent him to prison. That's how the story ends. That's literally how Ryan Mayer's story ends. They fitted this guy up with a crime he didn't commit and sent him to prison. And when he said, "Oh, but I didn't do it," they looked back and they said, "No comment." That's what they said back to him. No comment. Just like he said to them in the interrogation room. I was like, how is this a successful
storyline? Okay, storyline wasn't really good, but I feel like this isn't reflecting what the actual book is because it's not bad, but we're ripping it to pieces.
We are ripping to pieces.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it a 3. 3 for
that's storyline. Not fair though.
I think it is.
This should be lower.
That's
not fair. It should be lower. The storyline.
I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
Characters.
I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
Douglas was the only character in the book. The rest, they were nothing. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna have to put some work into this rating system because that's a bit ruthless.
That's why I said that's how I would.
But if we don't, every book's gonna be like a 6, or if it's good, it's going to be an 8.5.
Yeah, that's why I said out of 10 makes no sense. There's only 2 numbers on that. There's 6 or 8. There's only Not really anyone number. You can't say 4. 4?
Yeah, but it's funny that you finally come over to my side because every time,
because I've always said
but every time he's asked me, "Oh, what do you think out of 10?" And I say, I can't really rate it out of 10. You know, I struggle with that.
The funny thing is, the only reason I say it doesn't make sense is because people don't want to say anything lower than 6. But I said I'm happy to hear. Like if I cook something, you say, "Oh, it's a 5 out of 10." I'm not gonna be like, "How dare you?" If it's a 5 out of 10, it's a 5 out of 10. Do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like 2 out of 10 can work, but it doesn't work specifically for this. Okay. Because like, imagine all for seasons one day. She's like 4. You gave her a book of 4.
All right. Last question. What do you think out of 10? For real though. For real. What do you think?
5. Honestly, 5. Honestly, 5.
It was alright though.
It was alright. That's why I said 5.
It's an easy listening book. It's an easy listening book.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, it wasn't that.
Can you reread murder mysteries?
Nah.
It's pointless, isn't it? I know who the killer is. You know? Exactly. You're right there, Sue. See you.
It's all that, exactly. I think literally you'll pay attention this time and be like, I didn't even know, when did you come in last time? But it's literally like, the suspense is what makes a murder mystery. It's the suspense and like waiting to find out who the killer is. So, rereading it.
Wait, I'm pretty sure, wasn't there, I was supposed to write down, wasn't there something in the bit at the end about Bogdan? You know, I don't know, what he was with the baddie.
Huh?
Wasn't Bogdan with the baddie or something like that? Someone was enjoying diamonds or enjoying something. There was something about it at the end.
It was like he was trying to go out with that police officer, I swear.
Oh, okay. Maybe I've just missed.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
But yeah, alright, I think that's it. You know, we don't need to speak about Lance. You know, stealing diamonds. He stole those diamonds. Oh yeah, we should talk about the end scene. No, it wasn't. Was it in the caravan or something?
There was no point to his character at all. There was no point to his character at all. But yeah, Martin got bopped. Remember when I said?
Yeah, everyone got shot.
But Frank guy, he got bopped as well.
The mafia boss's son.
He came over, he crossed the pond, you know, and then got bopped. This is crazy.
I don't know why you'd send your son to deal with that. You send someone expendable.
Yeah, 100%. In chess, the pawns move first.
Yeah. Well, yeah. All right, listen. We should have a book for you that we can tell what we're reading next, but we don't. I know we said we'd do it last week, but we lied. And I don't feel bad at all.
Literally. To the judge.
So yeah. Arrest me. But yeah, listen guys, till next time, thank you. And till next time.